Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Alison, and in this video we're going to be discussing the kind of snacks you can and can't eat or shouldn't eat when you have eczema, because as you know, certain foods will trigger your eczema. We'll look at ways in which you can swap certain snacks and how easy or how difficult it possibly could be, and the reasons they are triggering your eczema. Before I do that, remember to like, subscribe, share, comment and hit the notification so you know when the next video is coming up. If you look below in the description, you'll see 3 guides: the eczema more than skin deep, the dry skin more than skin deep, and the adult acne more than skin deep. And one common theme that runs through all of those guides is food, and how important the foods you choose can affect your eczema and how it can actually help to improve your eczema as well. So remember to look down there, go straight to the guides and download them. They are free. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a kind of snack that you can switch and change, but also the reasons why it can trigger your eczema. Now, if you like savoury or salty snacks, the first thing I would probably think of is crisps and nuts. So I do love my crisps, but in this video we're going to be discussing peanuts specifically. Now, for the sake of science, I decided to eat some peanuts, and I also decided to eat some peanut butter. Now, I specifically chose an organic peanut butter, and I ate it over the weekend by the spoonfuls. Now, as you can see, or not, myself and my son, we got through quite a bit of that. And I'm not allergic to peanuts, and neither is he. We're also not sensitive to them either. So we have them by the spoonful. Sometimes we mix it with other stuff. Now, back in 2010, there was a study done of 640 infants between the ages of 4 to 11 months. And it found that before they even got to 11 months old, most of them or 23% of them were highly sensitive to peanuts. So peanuts, as you know, for eczema sufferers can be a no-no, but for others, as we are all unique, can be okay. Luckily for myself and my family, we're okay with peanuts. So I would say either have an allergy test when you get to a certain age, or do that food diary, the exclusion diet I've been telling you about, because if you were sensitive to peanuts when you were a child, that means you could still be sensitive to them now as an adult, and it simply is because it actually raises the levels of hemoglobin in your blood. If you aren't sensitive to peanuts, then why is it triggering off your eczema is the next question you should be asking yourself. So I'm going to show you again the peanut butter. Now, the only ingredients in this peanut butter are roasted organic peanuts at 91%, organic sustainable palm oil, and sea salt. 3 ingredients. So from when I see that they are organic peanuts, I know they have not been sprayed with any chemical fertilizers or pesticides, because that would make it illegal. You couldn't then call themselves organic. So I know in respect to the peanuts, I'm safe. But what about the actual oil and the salt? Well, that's where it gets interesting, because when you look at the bag of peanuts, okay, and as you can see, for the sake of science, myself and my son ate half the bag. The bag of peanuts has peanut in there, it doesn't give the percentage though, rapeseed oil and salt. Let me explain what's happening here. First of all, the jar of peanut butter specifically said organic peanuts, so you know it's organic, whereas the packet didn't. So you know, if it doesn't say the word organic on the back label, it's not organic, it's that simple. When it comes to the oil, okay, so the peanut butter said sustainable palm oil. The peanuts said rapeseed oil. Now, rapeseed oil actually is also called canola oil. And this can be genetically modified, and it can also be massively sprayed. So unless it says that it isn't, always assume that it is. Now, the quality of that oil can be breaking you out in spots, it can be breaking you out in eczema, can be triggering off a rash, because rapeseed oil is massively industrialized. It's a highly processed oil, and it actually comes from it's a seed of a flower called the rape flower, I guess. It's massively high in both omega-3 and omega-6, but more so in omega-6. And omega-6 is one of the oils that causes inflammation in the body. Now remember, if your body becomes inflamed, you're not going to see it on the outside, as in you don't stop ballooning, but you get low chronic inflammation in the body. You can also get it in the gut, then you can get it on the skin in the form of different skin rashes like eczema. So remember, very, very important, be aware of what kind of oil they are using in their products, because if the oil is something like the rape plant, rapeseed or canola, it's going to cause inflammation in the body. That then moves us on to salt. Now, you might not think it's very, very important, but the type of salt you are consuming is massively important to your body and your hair, your health, your hair as well, but in your body, your skin, your health. So I'm going to show you again. On the jar of peanut butter, it specifically said sea salt. That is a good salt. So sea salt, pink Himalayan salt, you've got the Celtic salt, you've got black salt. All those salts are really good for you because they do still have some of the actual nutrients in there, even if it's just trace minerals in there, even if it's just trace amounts. However, on the packet, it says salt. It doesn't say sea salt, it doesn't say pink Himalayan salt. It doesn't specify what kind of salt it is, so you therefore need to assume it is table salt. Okay, so of all the salts available to us as consumers, table salt is the worst kind of salt to consume. Its chemical makeup is 98% sodium, and table salt actually comes from being mined from salt deposits of old remnants of seawater. So in other words, when the sea comes in, the sea goes out, it leaves the stuff behind. This gets mined, it gets cleaned up, it goes through a chemical process. However, that chemical process removes anything that was even remotely good about it. Now, I'm saying remotely good about it because obviously the older the actual product or the older the chemicals that were left over, it's not very good anyway. So you're already having a product process and removing anything left that was previously left in it. In other words, you're eating the junk part of what was already junk. Hope that makes sense. The actual table salt was an old kind of sea salt, like I said, but it's got no minerals in there, no benefits to you other than the fact that it's making your actual food salty. It's rubbish. Now, sea salt, just like table salt, comes from the sea. However, whereas table salt is from old water, old seawater, the deposits of sea salt, as in what you saw on the packet for the peanut butter, is from more current sea salt, which means it's retained more of the minerals, more of what was actually good in the sea salt, and it's gone through less of a process. This means that you're getting more of the minerals, which means it's going to be more expensive to purchase, and it's also slightly darker than table salt as well, because table salt is pretty much, like I said before, it's not even worth mentioning, it's absolute rubbish. So if you are going to choose food or food products with salt in it, do look at things that will have the sea salt, like I said. That seems to be the most common. However, like I also previously mentioned, you do have things like pink Himalayan salt. If you do have sea salt at home, or pink Himalayan salt, or even Celtic salt, remember, as well as being able to ingest it, you can also use it in a bath as well. Now, a few more interesting facts. Pink Himalayan salt is actually mined from close to the Himalayas even, and it's often in Pakistan also. It is lower in sodium than sea salt, so in that respect it's actually better, I suppose, but also it gets its colour from the minerals, the trace minerals that are still in there. So you're talking about iron, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and it's also, which I like the idea of, it's hand extracted from the actual mines as well, which means less processes involved. Now, as a family, at least probably once a week, once a fortnight, myself or my son, because we do like baths. Well, he likes baths, but I see the benefits in them. We add pink Himalayan salt and dead sea salt to our baths, as well as Epsom salts. Now, even on its own, pink Himalayan salt can help to reduce the inflammation caused by eczema. It can also help to reduce the stinging effect of the water when you get into a bath if your eczema's flared up. So it's worth just even buying it in a large container for that reason only. So you can use it to put on the body and to consume. So I'd probably buy buy a 5 kilo container, sometimes a 10 of pink Himalayan salt, which I use for food and also for cosmetic reasons. Now, if, unlike myself and my son, you do like peanut butter but don't like it by the spoonful, remember there are various ways in which you can also enjoy it. Now, we have peanut butter on a plate or on a spoon, like I said, and we pair it with slices of apple to get that sweet and salty taste. We pair it with carrot, so you can just stick with the actual salty taste of the actual peanut butter. I like the crunch of celery. and I also sometimes put smooth peanut butter on pieces of banana. I do like crunchy peanut butter, but it's a lot easier to just quickly stick in your gob if it's smooth. So my two favourites are Whole Earth Smooth Organic Peanut Butter. That's this one. And the non-organic one that I do like is by a company called ManiLife. Now, they aren't organic, but I did contact them and they did tell me that they do not spray their peanuts with any kind of chemical fertilizers or chemical pesticides, and their peanuts are also not genetically modified. I have eaten their peanut butter you can get them in kilo tubs. I will put a link below so you can have easy access to that. But other than that, all I need to say is remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, and hit the notification so you know when the next video is coming out. And I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.